Hey, this is Joshua, standing here on a frozen or nearly frozen lake. Um, Lovely day in Minneapolis, as always, freshly shaven. Uh, what am I talking about? Okay, so today's video, I was listening to a video this morning in my car of Julian Blanc talking about the Elon Musk biography. And one of the points that he touched on that got me thinking was his expectation of the employees. So it's this real kind of do or die, commit to the cause expectation of the people who come on board. Um, he might be kind of brutal in his his treatment or like how far he's willing to push people, but there's this general emphasis of like, are you down for the cause now that you're here? No kind of like, there's nobody there just trying to get a check from 9 to 5 and a couple weeks of vacation and some good benefits. It's really sort of like, if the work isn't your number one priority in life, you shouldn't be there. I'm not necessarily saying that's good or bad, but you get the sense that the people who are there, they really want to be there. That's the whole reason that they're in the building. And strangely enough, what that reminded me of was the skateboard industry. The reason I was thinking about it was I was reminded of an interview with a team manager, and I'm trying to think who it was. It escapes me now, so I'm gonna have to keep my answers sort of non-committal in terms of this anecdote. But a team manager in skateboarding, basically his job is to look through sponsor me tapes, which are video edits of tricks from someone that kind of show off their style, their capabilities, what they're interested in as a skateboarder, and recommendations from the team to figure out who to put on the team. And the team is a kind of weird animal in that it's like a professional sports team and that there has to be chemistry, but it is unlike one in that the team is simply a group of people who endorse the product and who are brand representatives, essentially. So, so this team manager, all day long, or not all day long, he looks through videos on and figures out if and what type of relationship to enter into with an individual. Maybe it'll be an encouraging letter. Maybe it'll be like, no, we're not interested. Maybe it will be like, here's a box of stuff. Or it'll be like, we're going on tour. We'll fly you out and you're gonna come on a 2-week tour with us. Any number of sort of options. And what this team manager had said was, don't send a sponsor me tape if you're not riding our boards in the tape. So essentially he's saying, you have to be so committed to what our brand is about that you already are backing our brand. So the sort of basic gist would be, and I'm making up these, I'm not making up the brands, but I am not saying that these are real examples right here, but I'm saying if you're sending a sponsor me tape to Zero, you don't ride Habitat boards in the sponsor me tape. The expectation is that you're down for Zero, and that's what you are already repping. That the question is simply, is Zero down for you? And I think the reason that is kind of important is because it's sort of not only is this what he's looking for, but I suspect that the majority of sponsor me tapes that actually go anywhere, that is the case. That the kid sending a video to Habitat looks and skates and as if he should be on Habitat already. And I think this is why we see in skateboarding, you'll see a young kid get added to a team, and very often you'll be like, oh, of course Bobby DeKaiser is on Habitat. Bobby DeKaiser looks like he should be on Habitat. He skates like he should be on Habitat, and yet he still has a personality and a style. Habitat as a brand is already ingrained into his psyche, in a good way, not in like a weird corporate way, but to say that what Habitat is about, the substance of the ideas, that's what that kid wants out of skateboarding and how he wants to contribute. And that's that kind of real do or die thing. And this is why if you ever look at skateboard message boards, you will see so many threads of like who someone leaves a company, say, here's a better one: a company goes out of business and the team dissolves, and all of a sudden you have all these people, and a lot of people will have all this conjecture about who they can see on what team. Like, where did, like, Alien Workshop folded for a minute there? Where does Jake Johnson belong? Like, what companies make sense? And people become so associated with the brand that it's actually hard to see them anywhere else, which is really interesting. The brand idea is that strong. Like, imagine if you knew someone, they'd only been working someplace for 5 years, and if that company folded, you could not imagine them anywhere else. Like, it would make no sense. Like, they would just have to switch industries altogether because you couldn't imagine how they would function. That's like such a powerful statement to what happens in skateboarding and how strong those brands are and how strong the chemistry of those teams are. And what I sort of think about is how many corollaries are there of that in the actual business world. Um, I think you could argue that an Apple is certainly that. Like, people were, if you tolerated Steve Jobs, you were really down for Apple, you were really down for Steve Jobs, you're really down for the cause. Or a more contemporary example is Basecamp, who, the brand is super strong, the product is great, and people who apply to work at Basecamp, they know what the company culture is already like. And I think there's a real lesson, like, if you're going into business and starting businesses, to think about a business doesn't just have to be a place where people get paid to do work, but that it can be a force for like, you could create your own dream job, you could create the environment that you want to work in, the team that you want to work with, the products that you want to make, and that it's not just about the easiest path towards money, and that if you are really successful in that regard, essentially you're going to get unsolicited sponsor me tapes, you will get resumes that you didn't ask for from people who would damn near work for free, you will get people who already act as brand ambassadors who you've never met, and people who want to come in and talk to you about your work. And that if you're doing that, you're on the right track, and that if you build something that you truly believe and truly has like a sense of purpose to it, in terms of strong brand idea, great product, and that you like really give a shit about the kind of people that work there, you can pick up that model of the skateboard company and apply it to any industry. Because, like, there are crappy skateboard companies and there are great skateboard companies. The crappy ones get sponsor me tapes from kids who don't care about the brand, they just want free stuff. And the great ones get sponsor me tapes from kids who are decked head to toe in their gear and who are already committed to that cause. And I think that's a pretty powerful lesson for any business. Thanks a lot. Have a great night.